Hey, this is Kevin with WordBot, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the new Chatgpt Plus plan and if you should upgrade and what are some of the new features that are available for it, and just as you can see the cost structure here. So, again, if you have been on the internet or in the AI realm over the past couple of months or weeks, even ChatGPT has become a very popular tool just because of what it can do as far as, you know, use chat style, responses in regards to some of the prompts and questions that you ask it. And so with the explosion in its use, OpenAI has came out with a new plan called the Chat GPT Plus plan. And as you can see here, it's gives you some, I would say the only biggest benefit here is the availability even when the demand is high. So if you've been using chat gpt over the past couple of weeks, you probably had instances where you couldn't get on because it's been at high capacity, and that could be good or bad for either you or maybe someone who uses it a lot. But for me personally, it depends on how much use case you need this tool for. So if you're someone who spends a lot of time in ChatGPT, or your everyday job requires something that you've been working on in here, the $20 could be beneficial because you don't want to say in a crucial time be locked out for extended periods of time and things like that. And also you get some faster response speeds. Now, I haven't had any issues with the speed in terms of response. They could maybe just be in bringing back the responses faster. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to really test that. And then it also says priority access to new features. Now, what those features are, we don't know because they haven't really put a roadmap out there of what's new and what's not. So if you haven't actually used GPT, you can go ahead and sign up. Now, to get the ability to upgrade, you will need to join their wait list. Now, you can find that by just Googling. Let's go to google.com. You could just put in chat GPT waitlist, and you should come up with a link that will probably take you to it here. So you just fill this out, and then if you also sign into OpenAI, if you're using the playground, there's an option in there. So basically, they're rolling this out to U.S. customers only first, and then over the next couple probably weeks and months as they continue to scale, they'll start to roll it out to more countries that I've seen as well. So just some examples here. There's a lot of different industries that utilize chat gpt in some of their use cases, especially in like the entrepreneurial blogging, content generation. I've seen people use it for things to help them learn new things as far as like question and answer type things. But, just to kind of show you the power of this outside of just, wanting to upgrade, they are going to still be doing a free version. And that's going to allow people like you and me to test it. And uh, OpenAI will then be able to enhance and continue to grow their model to make it better and better. And I believe at some point this will probably be fully paid for. There might still be some free version where you might get so many responses maybe a day. I'm sure they're probably still working that out because I'd have to imagine the scale of this thing. They have to have compute power to be able to run this at scale 24/7, and I'm sure that's costing millions and millions of dollars a month. And they did also recently just get billions of dollars in funding from Microsoft, which you can read up on that on my blog, on an article that I just released about how they integrated into Teams. Bing is also being introduced with a chat style system. So this is really starting to take off, and I think for the foreseeable future, a lot of companies will start to use it. So, just an example of something I could use here, or actually how this works. I mean, I'm just going to show you something powerful as far as like how this all works. So I'm going to ask it, create an, you know, a blog outline about learning to, let's see, make a desk. Let's say a desk. I don't know what this would come up, but let's see what happens. So as you can see here, it's actually breaking it down. So you got your introduction, materials and tools, desk design and planning, and it's going to go on and on. And the great thing about the Chat GPT is you can actually continue to keep talking about it and or asking questions in regards to some of the things that it mentioned. So let's say you want to get a list of necessary materials to create a desk. What are some necessary materials needed to create a desk? And we'll fix that. And I'll just leave it at this one as far as. So as you can see, it's a great way to enhance your ability to maybe create content, get questions answered to things that you might not know of on the top of your head. Of course, a lot of these things could be found through Google, but the great thing about the ChatGPT is that it's pulling this information to you, readily available to answers that can be easily answered without you having to go find and sift them out. And now, if someone was reading this blog, they could then take these different materials and input that into the outline that it generated above and get the content needed to create their article. Now, this Chat GPT is trained only on data up to 2021, I believe it was. So it's not directly connected to the internet. So there may be some things that you won't be able to query or ask questions about that would come back with the wrong answer. And you also want to make sure you're fact checking anything that you are pulling from this tool because it's not 100% to be accurate. Great thing about this too is it saves some of your chats over here. So you can also change the name of these. So I can, change this to making a desk. Save that. I can delete it. So if I do a new chat and I go back, all my information is still there and I can start off with my conversation right where I left off at. Obviously the light dark mode. They have a Discord which has a lot of members in. You can go in there, ask questions, get help, anything that you may run into issues on. I'm sure they might even have some moderators that could answer questions that other community members can't. They have an updates and frequently asked questions page where you'll get a lot of updates on the new features and release notes on some of the different versions that they're running on. And down at the bottom, you can usually see the version that you're running on with any of the release notes on what those fixed during those releases. So again, that's it. It's very, similar to, I wouldn't say the playground. If you're familiar with the OpenAI playground, it's kind of like that, but you don't have to do any of the prompt engineering, which was required to actually get a lot of the outputs that you needed, which is why this newer version is a lot more intuitive. And once they release an API for it, I think a lot of companies will start to utilize it in some of their existing tools. Again, I hope that you enjoyed the video and some of the different features in regards to the plus and why you may want to upgrade versus why you may want to stay on the free plan. Leave me some comments down below on some of your use cases with ChatGPT. I would love to hear about those and maybe further discuss some of those different things in further videos and blog articles. Again, thanks for tuning in and hope to see you next time.